Hi, I'm Pinkest from She Loves Horror. Horror, whatever. We're going to be continuing our serial killer by state series today, and my YouTube family has picked Arkansas. So trigger warning, this story involves violent and graphic content, so please watch with care, and may the victims and the departed rest in peace. Ronald Gene Simmons was born July the 15th, 1940 in Chicago, Illinois. He was the second child born to Loretta and William Simmons. By the age of 10, Ronald had a reputation as a bully within the family, and he often tormented his younger siblings. He also did drop out of school in 1957 and joined the Navy, got his GED, and later he also joined the Air Force and served for 20 years. July the 9th, 1960, he married Rebecca Ulibarri, and they had 7 children over the next 18 years of marriage. They eventually settled in New Mexico. In 1981, he was investigated for child sex abuse for allegedly impregnating his 17-year-old daughter, which his daughter later gave birth, and they did raise the child as their own. Now, he was very controlling of his family. He didn't even allow his wife to have a driver's license or to use phones. She was only allowed to mail letters to her family, and even then that eventually got taken away. He later fled New Mexico and settled in Ward, Arkansas. He was described as recluse. He spent a lot of time alone in his room, and he always kept the door locked, and no one was allowed to enter. On the morning of December 22nd, 1987, Ronald first killed his wife Becky and then his oldest son Gene by bludgeoning them and shooting them. He then killed his 3-year-old granddaughter as well. He then dumped their bodies in a pit he had made his children dig 2 months earlier. He waited for the other children to return home from school. Loretta, Eddie, Marianne, and Becky, aged 17, 14, 11, and 8, were separated and each strangled. Each child's head was held underwater in a trash barrel, then dumped into the pit as well. Midday, December 26, 1987, the remaining family members arrived to his home after he invited them over for the holidays. Ronald's son Billy and his wife were shot, and then he strangled his 20-month-old grandchild. He also shot and killed his oldest daughter and her husband. He then strangled the 7-year-old child he had with his daughter as well. He then laid the bodies of his family in a neat row on the floor. December 27, 1987, he then went to Gibbons Law Firm, where he shot and killed Kathy Kendrick. The motive was revenge for her rejecting his previous advances. The same day, he also killed James David Chaffin, a firefighter and delivery driver. He shot him point-blank range. He also shot 2 more people working at Sinclair Mini Mart. The victim stated, in quote, "When he squeezed the very first shot, he was grinning." His final target was Woodline Motor Freight Company on Bernard Way, where he shot his former supervisor in the head and chest, but she did survive. The two previously had an argument about Ronald's pay. He was arrested at the freight company without incident, and the officer asked why didn't he kill himself. He stated he was afraid he would make a mess of it. He didn't want to be a vegetable. He killed 16 people in total. 14 of those victims was his own family. This is considered to be the deadliest case of familicide in United States history. Ronald was sentenced to death in 2 separate trials, and June the 25th, 1990, he was executed by lethal injection. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and also let me know what state I should do next.